I'm gonna give my honest answer, and I will answer your question. So, if you have any question at all, motivational, personal, whatever, you just ask.
How did you know when you had found God's purpose for your life?
Whoa, well, you know what? That's a tough one because that's something that I've struggled with for a long time. You know, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? And up until recently, I'm thinking that okay, I'm supposed to do work in the ministry, but I think that that's a huge trap because when we think of ministry, we think of church. When we think of ministry, we think of working with a programmed structure under the authority and the headship of a man or woman of God. And no. The gospel literally means the good news. And I've often found that operating outside of the church structure has given me a lot of power. And
Hello, Miss Janine.
that's Janine right there. And that's just quietly slipping out. But I have found that has given me a lot of freedom and a lot of power and a lot of autonomy to just adhere to the good news. And that's motivation, that's inspiration, that's encouragement, that's correction. So I consider all of that as my calling. And now I have a big field to play with. I have social media, I have speaking engagements everywhere I go. People don't want to hear God no more. As I mentioned in the last post, they want to see God. And so I pray that they see God in me as I speak and motivate and encourage.
Was the struggles that you went through worth the outcome that you have received?
What I'm hearing is, has the struggles matched my outcome? Was
it worth it to you? Is the question.
Yeah. And fortunately / unfortunately, I don't think like that. Mm-hmm. Because I'm always in the struggle. I'm always pushing and fighting. I think it's real dangerous to take time out and to assess, this is what I've gone through and this is where I'm at. When you start thinking like that, you start getting complacent. The only reason why you have rest is the preparation for the next battle. It's the halftime moment before you go back into the battle. Because as a believer, as a warrior, as a motivator, I'm always seeking and I'm always ready to jump in the battle. Do I take rest? Definitely. Do I take time out? Definitely. But I don't take time out to reflect on my accomplishments and what I've become. That's why if you look on my wall over there, I don't have, trophies, and I don't have plaques and everything all over the place. This is who I am. This is my, because the moment you start looking at what you've done, then you stop looking at where you're going, and that's dangerous. So I always keep my eyes focused straight, blinders.
Oh, hold on. My mother has a question. She says, is there anything else you want to accomplish after speaking?
What else do I want to accomplish after speaking? Someone asked me that question earlier, what do you want? I'm not going to say I want. I will accomplish a certain level of financial security that will enable me and that will empower me to bless millions. I want to take finances and weaponize it. Weaponize my finances for the kingdom. Orphanages, feeding the poor. My dream is to be able to fly into a particular part of the world, fund an entire operation, whether it's wells, whether it's feeding the poor, building churches, orphanages, fund the entire operation, They don't know that it's me. They'll never know that it's me. I'm just an ordinary person, walks in. Maybe one or two people know that, okay, that's Mr. Harper. And I fund the whole project. And before the ribbon is cut, I am 2 countries over with the next project. I don't care about the fanfare. I don't care about having my name. I never put my name on a building. I don't care about that. I just want to just go behind the scenes, man, and just make things happen. Real bad boy, and I've learned this from the streets. Real bad boys move in silence. It's just go in, make it happen, and then move. I remember one time, and a lot of people don't know, I used to be in the music industry, and in California they have listening parties, right? Yeah, listening parties. A person drops their album, then they have a listening party, and everyone's there, right? So this one person, famous artist, drops his album. I'm invited to the listening party, and everyone's around this one artist, and a couple other major artists shows up, and in the corner is this guy sitting at the bar. He's not saying nothing. I'm like, who is this guy? All by himself. And so I walk over, I'm curious, and I start having this conversation, and it turns out he's the producer. He's like, look, everything that they've done, I've signed off on. I've done everything. I've handled the whole thing. And guess what? I get paid the most. And no one knows who I am, and I like it like that. And ever since that moment, I said, I want to be that guy who goes behind the scenes and makes it happen and gone. Because my dream, in addition to that, is to serve an audience of one. And I want to hear well done from him.